Hey guys, Magnus Primal here. Before you see the Transformers Zone ROADFIRE. This is known as one of the rarest G1 figures. And you can probably imagine he costs quite a lot. And so the only way I was able to get him is in kind of poor condition. And this video is going to be me actually trying to repair him. I'll go through what's wrong with him, and then we will get into the actual repairing process. So right off the bat, you see the spring just does not have any real strength left in it, but it does click into place. And on this side, it's kind of got the opposite problem, in that the latch is broken, but the spring still works nicely. Another problem you will see is, I can get it in some better lighting, there's some intense yellowing on this guy. You can see right here on these arms where these are the joints in what will become the arms, and you can tell this thing for the previous owner was displayed in the alt mode because this bit is very yellowed, and same on the other side. Maybe it's not as bad, but it could just be the lighting, because like in hand it does look a little bit worse. All this white on top of here is actually fine, but you can see on the underneath of it, it's actually discolored, and you'll see that more when we transform him. This sticker here is peeling. It's not so bad on really any of the other stickers from what I can see, but I might just add some adhesion to that. But obviously I don't have the gun that would go up here, the turret for this tank. I am planning on 3D printing that. Kind of the big deal with this guy is he was what's called a powered master, is they have a little button and you can press and it'll automatically transform him into a sort of base mode. There's a little motor inside and obviously those springs and buttons. So when we press this, you will see what happens. And if I just raise the camera, you can see this whole back part's lifted up, and then what should have happened is it should have pressed down on these buttons. But you can see it went up very slowly, and so it really didn't have much force behind it. You can see it's kind of pressing in the buttons, but yeah, you can kind of barely tell because again, this side doesn't really have the spring in place, and this side doesn't have the latch. But if it did, it should have came up, and just get that up, yep, and then it would press down, and these would spring out. And then additionally, there's this piece here, which is actually spring-loaded inside there, and you could just press, and that part was supposed to shoot out, and you could store a Micromaster in there, and it would blast it off of this ramp. Of course, this works fine, as you see, but obviously these, as I said a couple times before, do not. And this just goes too slow to really activate it well anyway. There are very few videos of this guy on YouTube, but the few I've seen have this thing going up pretty darn fast. So you saw that, it would be something more like that. So yeah, what I hope to do is go inside and somehow correct that motor. I don't know how it works, so it'll be quite an adventure trying to figure out how it works and how we can get it to go quite quickly as it should. Then I don't know what I'm going to do about this latch. I'll somehow make something that will kind of act as the latch, I guess. Obviously this spring is fine. This one, I'm just going to take that apart and replace the spring. I want to get this guy transformed so you can see the robot mode now and kind of see what's wrong with that. You can really see the yellowing now. So these stickers here on his knees, they have a little bit of peeling right there on those thin parts. You can really see the yellowing. It really stands out now on this whole chest is all yellowed. You can see what I was talking about, how it was probably stored in the vehicle mode, because these bits now that are revealed in the robot mode have white here, and then it just blatantly goes to like an almost tan yellow there. And even on his face, I'm gonna try to get that up close. Sorry, that's sideways, but it should be more of a perfect white than that. So I don't know if I'm going to fix that, but I might even try to fix his face. It looks like it's a separate piece of plastic, so I'm assuming that's what happened, is that the face is a separate piece of plastic that got yellowed instead of like paint, because if it was white paint, it wouldn't be yellowed. So I don't know. The head's not too bad though, so maybe I will, maybe I won't, but the arms definitely, the chest definitely, and you can really see on the legs what I was talking about. The back, totally white, and then the front is just yellow galore. I know there's, I think it's like a certain peroxide, I believe, you can soak the pieces in, and then ironically you put them out in the sun, but then that should actually kind of restore the correct coloring to them. So this will definitely involve taking this guy apart a bit and just work to get these white bits out for the chest, the arms, the legs, maybe the face. I still haven't decided. There is a screw on the back of his head, so if it does come apart, it probably isn't too hard to do, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, the ROADFIRE repair project. I will see you once we actually get started. So the first step of the project was going to be to take the figure apart. And here we see that the whole top half is held on by these screws on the side. So these were going to be what we go at first. Additionally, you can see the 2 screws on the outer side of the shoulder and on the inside of the elbow. So here I am removing the screws that hold on the upper body. And you'll see that that will just come clean off, and now we work on the arms and head. The head unscrews at the back and separates into a front and back piece, and then the face is also a separate piece. Here you see I have separated the arm at the aforementioned elbow joint. Next I took apart the front half of ROADFIRE's tank mode, which is its own separate piece. You can see this is the launcher mechanism, and you can see right there where the latch has been broken off. And here are the 2 pieces at the front which would have sprung open, and here are the actual springs that were inside. It turns out the springs were not as weak as I thought they were on the one side, it was just that they had become misaligned. And that leaves behind the bottom half of the body, which houses the motor mechanism. For the broken latch piece, my initial idea was just to glue on a piece to act as a latch, but I ended up actually 3D modeling and printing a whole new piece for the mechanism. And here you can see that next to the original, and here is the piece inside, and you can see it springs down just like the other would have. Now reassembling the piece, you'll remember that this spring I said wasn't in fact too weak, it was just misaligned, and you can see this is the side that was misaligned initially, but now it works pretty perfectly. And here we see both sides attached with the reproduction button pieces in place. You can see when I press the button, both pieces will pop open. However, there was an issue that the spring-loaded piece in the center wouldn't latch in the back because the piece that was pressing down on that was far too long and wasn't allowing it to shut properly while all 3 pieces were shut. After many attempts with 3D printed pieces, we ended up going with the original plan of soldering and gluing on a piece from that in order to fix the original latch. And you can see that just fits onto the original piece. Spring-loaded piece in the middle works fine, and these 2 sides close well. Now we can consider this front piece of the tank to be complete. Now onto the issue of the yellowing. Now yellowing on a figure such as this can be explained as follows. The plastic that this is actually made from is a PBA plastic, which actually begins in a color similarly to this yellow, and it is actually through an artificial means via chemicals that it is changed to the white color or any other color, and hence sunlight and oxygen actually react with the plastic, causing it to change back gradually to the original yellowish color. And this can actually be combated via hydrogen peroxide, which then reacts and kind of almost bleaches it in a way, changing it back to a white color. I do not know if this works on a colored plastic, so I don't know if I'll be able to repair the fading on the blue plastic, but the white plastic definitely we can work with. For this, we'll be using this Salon Care 40 volume cream. This is used in hair products, and the 40 refers to the concentration of the hydrogen peroxide. You would want this to be a higher number, hence why we have chosen the 40. This product can be obtained from Sally Beauty Supply. This is more of a cream, as it says on the bottle, and basically it allows you to kind of rub it over the top of the item rather than submerge it, which if you want to keep stickers intact, I would recommend kind of painting the mixture around the stickers on only parts of the item that absolutely need it. Having carefully coated the items around the stickers, we allowed the mixture to sit in the sun for 7 hours in order to let the sunlight and the oxygen react with the hydrogen peroxide therefore bringing back the white color. And here we see the final result of the whitening. You can see on the chest, right around where these stickers are, it is not perfectly white, but that's because we tried to avoid those, obviously. But everywhere else is pretty much perfectly white. The face still needs some work. We might put it out there a little longer, but it's always a little hard anyway because it's such a small piece, and we have those green eyes that are painted to kind of avoid. And you can see right there on the elbow, maybe it isn't perfect, but if you're not looking for it, I would say it looks pretty much almost completely white. You can see also on these legs, if we bring them up into the light, near perfect. But yeah, definitely a drastic improvement over how it was before. And I can even show you here a comparison photo before and after, and you can see just how drastic of a difference it makes. Next step in this process was to make a new gun for ROADFIRE, which I have 3D printed. You can see it does mostly capture the look of the real thing, with a lot of the details present. Overall, the thing does have a sort of 3D printed quality about it with the lines, but my printer isn't the most amazing one out there, so this is what I was able to come up with. And you can see it does fit within the hands of the figure, and also on the alt mode. It looks very, very nice on there. The color matching obviously is not perfect, but I feel for my purposes, I feel like it works well. Here he is transforming to the base mode with the gun attached. The next step was to obtain new stickers for ROADFIRE. I did this through a website called toyhacks.com, who creates reproduction and upgrade stickers for figures. Here's the envelope, and inside was a brand new set of stickers. And after applying the stickers, you can see that the entire front half of ROADFIRE is now brand new and looking awesome. One thing you'll note is that the new stickers have a slightly different texture to the old ones. They have kind of a matte finish, whereas the normal stickers have glossy finish. But overall, it does look really, really nice and just brings the whole figure together so that now he looks much more complete. And here finally is ROADFIRE 100% finished. I think the restoration has gone fabulously. You can see he has his brand new gun, his brand new stickers, and practically looks good as new. And you can see he can transform to the base mode just fine. Absolutely perfect. And we can turn him to the robot mode. Here again, you can see just how far the figure has come from when I initially got him. Overall, I think this restoration has gone absolutely beautifully, and I plan to do more in the future. For now though, that is all. I have been Magnus Primal. Goodbye.